It's 14 days past IUI and past ovulation. I'm pretty sure. I don't know 100%, but I'm fairly certain that I ovulated the same day that we did IUI number 2. And I'm going to take some pregnancy tests with you. The day I'm officially supposed to take the pregnancy test is tomorrow, but the nurse that did the IUI was like, by 14 days past IUI, it should be pretty accurate. And we triggered this time 36 hours before the IUI. So last IUI, we didn't even wait 24 hours before we ended up doing the IUI after the trigger. So that made it a little bit more complicated as far as testing and how much trigger was still in my system. But at this point now, it should be out of my system. Like, it's been over 2 weeks since I took the trigger shot, or since I did the trigger shot. So these should be accurate. I am feeling a little bit nervous right now. I've been feeling pretty good about it, but right now I'm kind of panicking. So I'm gonna start dipping these so that I can talk to you about what's going on. I'm gonna start with the easy at home ovulation test. I actually am like most afraid for this one right now because this is the first one that I'm gonna look at, and if it's like super light, you know, it's just gonna be disheartening to see. I have a Walgreens cheapo stick test. I've been having issues with focus. And then the Wanfo, which is supposed to be extra sensitive. Those are the ones that take 5 minutes to develop, so we'll wait 2 minutes. I have to say, this 2-week wait period has been very chill and very relaxed. I didn't feel anxious hardly at all until yesterday afternoon when I started thinking about the fact that I was going to test today. But otherwise, I haven't really been thinking much about anything pregnancy related, which has been very nice, because if you have been trying to conceive for a while, or if you're going through infertility like I am, I'm so sorry, but then you know, it's so easy to let it consume all your thoughts, especially in the 2-week wait when you're just waiting and there's nothing else you can do. And if you haven't been following along, our first IUI semen sample was not great, but it wasn't so bad that they told us there's no point in doing it. This second one was very close to like ideal, like perfect candidate for IUI. So it makes me feel good and confident, but also nervous, because if this doesn't work, then that's really disheartening. I'm gonna start dipping the nicer ones. This is a Walgreens early pregnancy test, and this one is a stinker. I always get like a little evap or indent line on this one. I have a Frida pregnancy test. There was one time I got a little indent line on this one, and then the last time I used it, I didn't have that. So I'm wondering if the first time I ever used this, if it was just a faulty test. And last, a first response. Okay, I have felt a handful of things in the last week that could be pregnancy related. The waters are kind of muddied because of the fact that I'm taking progesterone suppositories, and those can cause Those can cause symptoms themselves. I guess it's kind of good because it's easy for me not to overthink those things that I'm feeling, knowing it very well could be caused by that medication. I am surprised that I'm not experiencing more symptoms than I have been because of the progesterone, the added progesterone, because the times that I've taken progesterone cream, which is a much lower dose, and you apply it topically, so it's not going to be absorbed as quickly as like you putting it inside you. 2 of the 3 times that I used it, I felt like I was experiencing all kinds of symptoms that I don't normally experience. At least one of those times, I was convinced that I was pregnant. And the second time that I experienced symptoms, but the third time I was taking it, I was like teeter-tottering back and forth. I wasn't convinced, but I was like, well, maybe. I'm surprised that this time, taking a stronger dose, taking something that you put inside you, that it's not doing the same thing, and same thing last IUI as well. So that is kind of nice. Maybe with the progesterone cream, it was kind of like a placebo effect or something, but okay. I don't necessarily feel pregnant, but I have to say, I don't know if it's because I genuinely don't feel pregnant or if it's because I'm just so used to month after month after month not getting pregnant that it almost, not that it feels impossible, but because I know it's possible, but it's more like every month. I think after it's been such a long time, your brain just kind of automatically starts to go to this place of like, this isn't gonna be the month, which sounds very depressing, but okay, I guess let's do this. First is the ovulation test. This is just my buffer. It's not a pregnancy test. Oh, oops. All right, well, that, I don't know what to think about that. That is darker than maybe I'd expect. Like, it's not super, super light, but it's not super dark either. So that doesn't make me think anything one way or the other. Sorry, I have to breathe, guys. This is like the most nervous I felt right now. Like, I want it so badly to be positive, but I don't want to get my hopes up. Here is the Walgreens. I feel like it's going to be negative. Like, that feels like a joke being played on me right now. Yeah, that's definitely negative. Okay, let's do the Wanfo, because that one is definitely more sensitive. Ah, that sucks so bad. Like shaking. No, I don't even see like a little line, I don't think. I mean, and honestly, even if I did see like a tiny, tiny line at this point, that would not be a good sign. This is the Walgreens early pregnancy test. Yeah, same thing. There is like a little faint, you know, here's my cat. There is a little faint blue line, but that's the same thing that I've had every single time I've used these. And at this point now, I've had other people say that they've used this Walgreens brand and that they've had the exact same thing. So Walgreens, please fix that. Here's the Frida. No, I think I'm seeing a tiny line on this one too. I'll show you again. Do you see that? But maybe I'm not. No, I feel like I am. I definitely am. But like if I was seeing little lines on all of these, then maybe that would make me think something. But yeah, I think it's probably just. I think these ones are kind of finicky too. I don't want to like hold out hope for this one to be positive, but there is like a smidge still. Will you leave that alone, please? No, that is, or I think, right? No, that's negative. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's negative. I think at this point it's just me like wanting to see a line. So, well, it is what it is. That really sucks. Yeah, I don't see a line on this one. So, it's what I expected, but at the same time, it's still hard to see, especially because without knowing what our issue is, like statistically speaking, we had not a way bigger chance of it working this time than last time, but we definitely had a higher percent chance of it happening this time just based on the numbers from the sample that we used this time. I think the worst part of this whole thing is just not knowing what is going wrong when it feels like we're doing everything right. Oh my goodness. All right, well, I hate to leave this on such a low note. I mean, I will be okay. It is what it is, and like I said, this is what I kind of expected, even though I hoped for different results. Thank you so much for watching and for being here and for your support. It really means so, so, so much. And I will see you next time.